Hello everyone. So today we are going to set up interfaces, C++ interfaces to communicate from the animation blueprint to the character class. So basically when I do a punch, in order to check if the punch is landed on the opponent, I'm going to set up an interface event through C++, which would be called through an animation notifier that I define on the punch. Similarly, I'm going to do the same thing for the kicks as well. So the actual logic to detect if the kick and the punch happens is not implemented yet, only a notification here to show that those functions are working. The communication actually happens between the classes. So that's what I'm going to do. So here for this animation I have defined this kick event, kick R event, and this check kick event I have implemented it through this fight interface, which I have defined in C++. So this character blueprint is based on C++ character I have created. Here is the C++ interface. Fight interface, which is a C++ class also, and here is the definition of that. So I'm gonna go step by step and implement this interface into the character class to be consumed by the animation blueprint. Let's see how to do those things in this episode. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for the support you guys are giving me. Right, so far we have worked on this. The character can move and do kicks and punches. So yeah, so we need to figure out a way to when the character do a punch, whether it hits the opponent. So the way I'm going to do is definitely we need to add a notifier to the animations. Which one animation we are using here? And this through this animation event I'm going to call a function in this character in the character class which checks whether whether the character actually hits the opponent. So for that we need a way to, first let me add a notifier here. Let's start with the punching. Here add a notify. We don't have any notifiers, so punch, right, because we are punching with the right hand. I'll call it punch R. Now we can implement that event in the animation blueprint, but I'm not going to do the detection part of the punch. So the way I'm going to detect is if the character's hand currently in the hitting range of the opponent. So I'm going to do that part in C++. So let's implement punch R notifier. So we can access try get pawn owner, and we can access the pawn controlled by the phone owner of this animation blueprint, and here we need some way to call a function like check punch or something. So we don't have a concrete reference, so we don't have any function defined here. So I'm going to implement a function through an interface in the C++ class of this character blueprint. So the C++ class is this one, cpp character, and I have opened it in the rider here. Okay, so how do we define an interface in C++? That's the next thing I need to figure out. Alright, so I'm referring to this, the official documentation. According to that, which is this one, so according to that I need to add a header file for the interface. So add C++, okay, let's name it I fight or combat. No, fight is better. I fight. Okay, so here created I fight cpp and I fight.h, but we don't need a cpp file for an interface, because it's just going to be a definition of a interface is not a concrete class, that's why. So this one oh, actually we don't use the I here. Got to rename this. It should be just fight.h, and it's not going to be a class, it has to be a U interface. Oh, I'm just copying. So fight generator.h minimum API class U fight, and public interface. Okay, let's change this as fight interface. That's clear. So here we don't need this part, only need let me copy that from the reference, just the generated body, and after that we need this part, I fight interface like this, the class definition, the interface definition actually. So here we can add the functions. So we need to add a function to check hits, check punches basically. Right, so let's start with defining macros for u function, and this should be able to call from the blueprint, that means the animation blueprint. So blueprint callable and blueprint native event. So this function can be implemented in C++ or blueprint, but I am planning to implement in C++. So I'm going to use this, and category, let's call it attacks. What's the function name? Well, we don't need a return type, so it should be void check punch we need a parameter to say if the punch is from left hand or right hand. So boolean left is left hand. If this is true, I'm gonna consider it as the left hand. If it is false, I'm gonna consider it as the right hand. Alright, now we have implemented the interface. We have implemented the interface class. Now we need to implement this in the character. So to do that, we can go to the character.h, cpp character.h, and public a character and public I fight interface. Okay, now let's see if we can, even though I haven't implemented it yet, let's see if this check punch function is visible from the animation blueprint. Oh, I got an error. What's this Combase API? I think it's added automatically. Shall we delete that? Oh, public not interface, u interface. Oh no. Oh, wait. U interface. Right, now it should work. Let's check. Right, build completed. Now let's see, check punch. Cool. Now we have now that function is visible to the animation blueprint. So this is R, so it's left hand. I'm going to leave it as false. Okay, now let's see how to implement the function in the character. So we need to override this check punch function in character class. So we can do that here. Punch, hit, check. I'll add a comment just to be clean. Virtual void. The function name is, well, let me copy that. Check, punch, pull. Okay, and now we should be able to generate implementation in the .cpp file. I will not put it here, I will move it down because I need to keep the fight related functions together. Fight interface functions. End of fight interface. So I'm gonna put everything I implement from the fight interface within these two comments. Okay, well, for now let's just add let's just print some text in here to show that, to check, to verify that this function is being called. So engine add on screen debug message time to display. I don't know why -1, but that's the value in the reference. Time to display, oh no, key. Time to display, let's leave it as 5.0f and f color red, and the message is like this: text, sorry, this should be all capital, text check-in punch. What did I miss? Why 2? Alright, now let's build and see if we get this function, this screen output check-in punch. If we get that, that means our function is working, so we can continue with the implementation. It didn't. Why? Sorry, we should add virtual keyword here, otherwise, yeah, we would not be able to override it. And also we need to say we are overriding this. Sorry about that. Oh, now I got this error. Alright, okay. Blueprint implementable events in interfaces must not be declared virtual. Alright, then delete this and also this. But I can't overwrite. Why is that? Yeah, in the referent it says functions using Blueprint native event can be implemented in C++ overriding function with the same name but with suffix underscore implementation added. Like this, okay. So let's add it here. Check punch implementation override. Okay, we need to change here too. Right, now let's try to build. Okay, build succeeded. Now let's see if we get the... Alright, now we get check-in punch printed. Okay, in the same way let's add another u function for to check kicks also. Kick. Right, now in the same way we can override it. Check kick. Oh, this shouldn't be left hand, left leg. Now at the build, okay, now just like this let's add a print to check in kick. Alright, now let's build. Check-in punch. Oh, check-in kick. We didn't implement kicks yet. So let's add a notifier for this one too. Yeah. Kick. This is right hand, so I'll set kick R. Right leg. Not hand. Kick R. Same as before. Let's call check kick. Wait, why didn't we get that? Check kick. What did we miss? Okay, so I went here and press this compile button again. I'm not sure why, but now it shows up. Check kick. Since we are using right leg, his left leg, I'll set it to false. Alright, now let's check here. H. Oh, is it going to crash? Please don't, please don't. It crashed. Let's restart and close this. Okay, I restarted the project and I can confirm it is working. Check in kick, check in punch, check in kick, check in punch. Alright, so I'm gonna stop this episode right here. So now that we have the basic setup for the interfaces to check the kick lands on the opponent and the punch lands on the opponent, so I'm going to work on the actual hit detection part in the next episode. So thanks for watching. If you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon Club. Link would be in the description below. And see you in another episode. Goodbye. And as always, project files will be available through the Patreon page.